Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be working out in the backyard and we are going to get a couple of things planted and a couple of things cleaned up. It's pretty warm out today, so it's not the funnest day to come out here and plant. Like I think it's 90 something, I don't know, it feels like it right here where we are. But I did want to get some things in the ground. It's officially fall, which is another great season to start planting up again in our garden. Typically you want to give yourself about 6 weeks until your frost, so you have plenty of time to get things in the ground. Of course, I don't always follow that rule. Like I have been planting trees in the middle of winter and they do fine, but it is nice to get things in the ground now, get those roots established, make sure those plants are happy. And of course, anything is going to be happier in the ground versus in their nursery can. We are going to be planting up our candy coral berries. This is the one that we picked up together at Bauman's. You guys, I was so excited because I've always wanted these in our garden and now we finally have them. I'm so excited to plant them, and I actually would love to get more because there's some other areas in the garden that I would also love to have these. And just as a reminder, these are going to get 2 to 2.5 feet tall and then 2.5 to 3 feet wide. So really, they're not going to get that much larger. I mean, they will grow out a bit, but in terms of the height, I don't anticipate them getting too much taller than this. And these will require full sun, and you just want to make sure that you plant them in an area with well-draining soil, and they are hardy in zones 4 through 9. The great thing about this coral berry is they're not going to require a ton of our attention. In the springtime, we're going to get these beautiful little flowers and then they set their berries, and then you're left with these gorgeous, just gorgeous little berries on your plants. And then in the late winter, early spring, we will come back and cut these back. I'm very excited to have these in our garden. Again, first time growing them, and I'm super, super excited. The next plant we're going to be planting is this monk's hood, and I was waiting for it to start blooming so we can see these unusual but oh so beautiful flowers. These are so different from anything I've ever seen. Also a new plant to us in our garden. These are going to get rather tall. In fact, let me just grab a tag here. Let's see. Oh, and this variety here is Cloudy Autumn. Let's see. These are going to get 47 to 71 inches tall, and then they can spread 18 to 23 inches wide. So what I'm thinking is plant them behind maybe some of our shorter shrubs and then just watch them kind of grow. We have 6 of them, and I think I'm just going to plant them kind of in a swoop somewhere in the garden. I thought about breaking them up, but I just want to see how impactful these are in the garden, especially when they all bloom together. And these will also require full sun. They typically bloom from early fall to late fall, and these are hardy down to zone 2. I am so excited about these. They definitely reminded me of like a foxglove, but obviously these flowers are very, very different. But I'm somebody that loves a spike flower. So anything that has a nice long stem like this with flowers blooming here at the top, I think they're so structurally beautiful in the garden. So anytime I can find plants that do this throughout the year, I definitely want to have those in my garden. Obviously springtime, we're all about our foxglove, and late spring, we're in maybe early summer, our digitalis. So it's nice to have something that blooms in the fall that has the same structure that we're looking for. And I already hear the hummingbirds around me, so I wonder if they're going to be attracted to this. So I'm thinking of planting the coral berries right over here. We do have a peony back here that I might shift later this winter time because I don't know, I want to see more of it, so I might move it forward somewhere else in the garden. I do want to come in and just remove these zinnias. These are just, I don't even know if I planted these, did I? I probably did. I don't think these self-seeded. Anyways, I'm going to remove these plants. I think I'll try to leave the Rudbeckias. These are also being grown out as annuals. So if we do have to move them, it's totally fine. I'm not upset about that. And then this little echinacea, we had a beautiful drift of them right over here, but only one survived for whatever reason. So I'm going to dig this up and then we'll pop it in a nursery can and then we'll put it somewhere else in the garden. But I think having a different type of texture here with the coral berries is going to bring so much interest into this part of the garden, especially because we're going to be planting them together. I want to create a dramatic, almost carpet effect in this space right here with them. Anytime you're trying to make an impact in your garden, it's always good to plant in big groupings. So you can go 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. and odd numbers, because that really does make such a big impact in that plant and how it looks in your garden. I remember when I started gardening, oh gosh, like more seriously, maybe 5 years ago, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I would like buy one of each and just kind of plant one there and one here. I quickly realized that this doesn't look good. What am I doing wrong? And then I started to learn more about gardening and just experimenting and reading. And then I realized, okay, we were doing it all wrong. And I'm still doing it wrong from time to time, but I'm trying to be methodical when we are planting things like this, that I want to create interest and a moment in the garden, to at least buy 3. So you can have a grouping of them together. So we're not going to be doing like one over there, one over here, one over there, because that tends to look a little bit chaotic. And so for plants like this, we want to treat it more of like a group plant and not an individual plant. I have seen people use them as individual plants in their garden, and it looks fine too, but I just think in a grouping they're going to be more impactful. All right, let's set you guys up, and then I think we'll just come in and start digging this up. I think I'm just going to use my shovel today, no auger, and then we will just get planting. Oh man, did I really just rip the drip line? Please, no. Oh, is it the big one? Shoot. I hate repairing drip. I really do. Maybe I didn't. Well, we're gonna pretend like we didn't. And we'll just check it tomorrow when we run the drip. Darn, darn, darn. I'm gonna use Biotone Starter Fertilizer just to amend the soil here a bit and really feed those roots to help get them going. All right, I'm actually gonna use my auger back here because I do not wanna do that with the shovel and for these little holes. Let's see. So I think originally I wanted to do all of them. So let's actually just break them up into groups of 3. Let's see, let's do like 1, 2, 3 over here. It's like cutting cake with this thing. I love it. Love it so much. And I'm not planting them too deep because they do look a little bit like a rhizome. So I'm gonna plant them kind of shallow and leave that root ball kind of exposed, and then I'll read about it. So yeah. Ooh, I just barely missed another drip line right here. I got lucky with that one. All right, we got everything planted. I love the way the coral berries look over here. It does look a little bit crowded with the rudbeckia right there, but once those rudbeckias are done, that's going to be gone. And then again, we might just end up moving that peony forward somewhere. So I think this was the perfect spot for it, and it will get pretty much full sun. Right now we're nearing sunset, so it's not, you don't see a lot of sun over here during this hour. And like I mentioned, these are not going to require too much maintenance from us. We're going to prune them in the springtime by cutting back, I would say about 12 inches to encourage new growth and more berries as the shrub blooms on new wood. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then I'll also just fertilize it with probably like an all-purpose or Even maybe flower tone might work for these. But anyways, I am so in love. I cannot wait to take some cuttings to make little arrangements for us inside the house. I think they are so sweet and they just provide a cool color to this part of the garden. I don't think it's a secret that I love warm tones and peachy tones and those types of colors in the garden, also with my flowers. So I'm trying to be a little bit methodical about bringing in some more cool colors into our garden and start blending that in, just because it's so easy for me to get carried away and just do all warm colors, all pinks, light pinks, and gosh, oranges and peachy colors. I love it so much. Anyways, these are so fun for me right now to have in the garden. You guys might already have these in your garden. Like I said, I've always wanted to have them and I don't know what took so long, but super, super happy about these. And then the monkhood also look really nice. I'm excited to see them put on more growth because right now, if you're standing here, you'll kind of notice them pop up, but not a whole ton. These will take a little bit of time to get established and they'll start widening out. And because these are so hardy, I think they're probably going to stay an evergreen for us. And I did want to call out that these plants are toxic, so just be aware of that. If you have little ones or pets, anything like that, make sure you read a little bit more into these before you plant them in your garden. I mean, we have a lot of things in our garden that's toxic. Foxglove. I mean, gosh, the list, I can go down the list of all of the things. All I wanted to say is be mindful of that if you are going to be planting these in your garden. Now with these, you want to make sure that they stay nice and wet. You don't want to allow them to dry. And I do think they are a root or a tuber. I didn't read too much into it, but just by the way that they look, it looks to be like a tuber or a rhizome. Sorry, I think, what did I say? Tuber and what? I don't know. But anyways, we will cut these back just to promote another flush, similar to how we would with digitalis or foxglove, things like that. And they should bloom at least twice for us. And I'm hoping that they're going to hang on to their blooms for quite a bit of time because again, they start flowering in early fall to late fall. So we should get 2 good flushes of flowers with these. And then in terms of winter care, I'm just gonna cut those blooms back and then I'll probably come in and fertilize again with either plant tone or maybe even flower tone in the springtime. But I don't think these are going to require too much maintenance as well. I think they're one of those plants that you just kind of plant it and forget about it. It's going to be nice to start seeing it widen out quite a bit too, because I do like the foliage on these. I think it's very interesting. It kind of reminds me of a peony, and it's going to provide some beautiful vertical interest in some of these areas as well. There's not a lot planted back here. I do have a couple of chrysanthemums that are not doing anything, but hopefully these are going to be flowering here soon, I hope. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're not getting enough sun. I'm not sure. But anyways, so here are the other monkhoods right back here. I like to plant vertical things back here. You can see we have our lilies, we have the clematis, just because it draws your eyes to this area, especially if you're in the cut flower garden. See if I step back. Hold on. I kind of want to keep this little area open a little bit, maybe a little 2-stone situation there. But anyways, if you're back here, you're going to see something beautiful popping up over here. Now, of course, we have the irises over there in the springtime, which look lovely. But after that, it's just kind of like an open area, and we have that compost bin back there that I really want to move. So just nice to have some vertical interest over here that's not really a tree or anything like that. It's something flowering, it's beautiful, and it's going to kind of carry us over when some of our other annuals start to kind of slow down, and some of our perennials will have some color extended because these should bloom into late fall time. Anyways, not a ton of planting today, but I did want to get these in the ground because I bought them. And I'm trying to be better about planting things sooner than later because I know I can just get very excited and I don't know, wishful thinking that I'm going to plant things right away. And I don't always, but I'm trying to be better at it. So it's nice to have these in the ground and then really start enjoying them, and not just when I walk by and I see them in their nursery can, I'm like, hi, I'm going to plant you. I promise. I will. Stay tuned. I'm going to get you in the ground. So it's nice to get those in the ground and start enjoying our plants, especially again, fall time, great time to plant. If you're feeling an itch to get outside before the rains or like winter really comes in, now is a great time. Like we have several weeks of really good weather coming up and good temperatures. We might get some rain here and there, but either way, it's going to be a good time to plant for us here in the Pacific Northwest. So I'm really looking forward to that. Anyways, that will wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in my garden, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye-bye.